Hello everybody, this is Gundam Fox coming at you with a 500 cost rated match here in the Woundwort. We're going to be on Colony Drop area for this match here, and it's going to be the level 2 version of the Woundwort. The Woundwort is a support type mobile suit. It is native to 450 and goes up to level 2 at 500. And the Woundwort is a pretty interesting support mobile suit. Despite being labeled a support, it actually has a lot of melee-oriented features to it, which I will get to during the video here. But yeah, the suit is pretty fun. You also do have a transformation as well, and it's probably not the suit. I'm still kind of practicing with it. I have both the level 1 and the level 2 of the Woundwort, but I've only used the level 2 so far, so really wanted to keep a focus on 500 because I kept trying to find matches against the new Rosette, and this match, I believe the enemy team has a Rosette, so really just wanted to have a match where I could, see that suit in action because the Rosette looks really cool. I like the Marasai and Marasai variations, so even though I couldn't get that suit, still pretty cool to see it in action. Actually, there's the Rosette right there. And yeah, going in for the Heat Blade and the Claw, and yeah, we'll focus on the Woundwort here, just do a quick rundown of the suit, as I normally do. And as I mentioned, the Woundwort is a support mobile suit. For your weapons, you do have the boosted rifle, and that is going to be that large weapon on the right arm there. You can fire that uncharged or charged. You have blow as your main melee, and the suit does have that high, far boosting kick with it, so pretty nice melee for the Woundwort there and able to cover some distance. You have a pair of head-mounted Vulcans. You have the boosted Heat Blade as your second melee weapon, and then you have the boosted Claw, which I believe counts as a ballistic weapon, so the Claw is pretty useful. It does just cause a normal stun, so you are able to use it for that. And yeah, that's really it for the weapons here, except when you're transformed, you do get the boosted rifle transformed, which makes it more into a rapid fire rifle. So, pretty good loadout here for the Woundwort. I was able to finish the Rosette there, so going to eject from my suit because I can see that my suit is very low on HP, so better to, just try to eject and see what I can do as a pilot. Most likely just try to get to point B. But moving on to the skills here, you do have High Performance Radar and High Performance Scope, both at level 2. As I mentioned, you do have the ability to transform. You do have a booster eye field on the booster. And then you also have Force Injector level 2, and a few other really good skills as well. So, again, Woundwort, it's a pretty interesting suit, especially once you try to get the hang of. I really do like a lot of the more melee-oriented supports in GBO2. I do think many of them are pretty fun, especially the RS Jar Jar and the White Rider. Those two are probably my favorite when it comes to more melee-oriented supports, or just supports that have melee-focused features in general. But the Woundwort, I feel like, compared to those suits, really leans into it, because you do have both Blow and the Heat Blade. Really, like, they didn't have to include the Blow. They could have just made the Heat Blade the main weapon, but no, they said you can have 2 melee weapons. So, again, really makes the Woundwort a very interesting mobile suit to play here. I think the other very interesting thing about it is that you have no ballistic resistance with this suit. Beam resistance and melee resistance, they are pretty decent, but both the level 1 and the level 2, you get no ballistic resistance whatsoever, so something to watch out for with this suit. I do think I have put ballistic resistance on here because there are some suits at 450 and 500, especially for 450. I know there's a lot of suits that still use ballistic weapons. 500, I don't think it's as much, but you do have a suit here like the Zaku Machinery. That suit does have a good number of ballistic weapons, so, just having some type of boosted ballistic defense on the suit, I do think would be worth having. But when it comes to the part slots, it's up to you what you decide to really focus on. That's just my preference. There's the eye field going to work there, blocking the beam shot from what I think might be. I think that is a Geo7, I believe. And yep, Geo7 I can tell by the shield. And yeah, unfortunately did get knocked over, waiting to get back up here, but looks like our team is doing pretty good at the moment. Here is the Zaku machinery. I'm assuming they either left to capture the points, or they maybe tried to spawn in and got hit by somebody. So they're back in their suit, so I'm trying to help the team finish them off here. And yep, was able to get the assist, so pretty good there. I believe on the enemy team, their support is the support Zaku machinery. I think it's the EB is the initials that go with that one, but yeah, it is a suit that I need to somewhat watch out for because it does have really good beam defense, which is very much a counter to my main range weapon. So something to watch out for, when it's not below 50% HP. I'm trying to find out where the pilot here is. I saw a pilot and, yep, was able to get him before they could try to, potentially get to our base. And right now, just trying to find somebody to, target here. It's again, kind of like the weird thing with the Woundwort is that you really only have one range weapon, that being the, your main beam launcher. And again, for support, like, you really don't have many range weapons to work with. You do have the Vulcans and the Claw, but both of those require you to be a lot closer to an enemy, which, as I mentioned, really leans into how this suit just really is more melee-oriented. And as you can see right now, getting a really good combo on the Zaku machinery. Unfortunately, I'm going to whiff both of my downswings there, so I'm just going to try to book it and get to the high ground here. Yeah, really, that's like the main thing that it takes getting used to with the Woundwort, is that, like, compared to the White Rider and the RS Jar Jar, both of those suits, even though they have, like, really good melee aspects, they still have a lot of range weapons with them. Doing that with the Woundwort really took me some getting used to, but I think, the map here, Colony Drop area, I think this is a pretty good map for the Woundwort, since there are a good number of closed-in spaces. I also hope that my team, they kind of stayed grouped up a lot, so kind of gave me some opportunities to move in when I could. And, right here again, the Claw on the prototype Zeta. Tried going for the downswing. Unfortunately, they did tackle somebody. They're dodging, trying to see if I can get the finisher. And looks like the Gaza G was able to get the final blow with the counter there, so that's going to be timeout, mission over, and let's see how we did here with the level 2 Woundwort. I got some good works in the side chat there, and didn't get any on the board, but I did beat my rival, going to be praising the NTX, and 4th place with 6 kills and 1 loss. Did get 2nd in individual, so, not too bad of a score there, and yeah, that's going to do it for the match with the Woundworts, and again, really a suit that I've had to adjust to. I'm really adjusting to in general. I still don't think I've truly adjusted to using the Woundwort for the few times I have used it. I really need to use it at 450 at its native cost, and maybe use that as a bit more training before, just kind of taking it into 500 like I have been. I think that's more because I think I had the level 2 first, so that's kind of the one I ended up using, and that's just why I haven't really used the level 1 version yet, but, yeah, really, that's kind of everything I have to say about the Woundwort here. It is a pretty fun suit, though, so, maybe something I'll try out a bit more in the future, but, yeah, that's everything I have for this video here. Comment down below what you think about the Woundwort. Remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. And with that, I will see you all in the next one. Later.